Welcome back to the Hood Knees Fantasy Football Podcast. This is the Week 15 starts and sits. I got my dogs with me here, MFB
Yes, sir. Playoff time, boy.
and BBTV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm your host, Keem, as usual. And hopefully we can hit on some of these starts, some of these sits. Last week, not too hot, especially on the sits, but we got some good starts in there. And as a reminder, guys, these are players that we're predicting to either have a good game or not have a good game. We're not telling you have to start these players or you have to sit these players. So, disclaimer there before you guys blame us for losing your fantasy playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and jump into QB starts of the week. Let's have MFB start us off.
Yes, sir. My QB start of the week is Kyler Murray. I think his schedule is opening up beautifully. This week they get the Patriots, already eliminated. Hella weak team. This is their team to come back, get right, get momentum, and make a playoff push. I think it's long overdue for Kyler to have a boom game finally.
Yeah, like that a lot. And he should use his legs a lot this game. So his body.
I'm hoping.
I was about to say, I think he's going to rush for a touchdown this game.
Mm-hmm.
So he better do something, man. Come on. Last game he looked embarrassing. Sheesh. BBTB, give us your QB start of the week.
My QB start is not Tommy DeVito. I don't know who the hell changed that. That's kind of crazy. My QB start is going to be Patrick Mahomes. I know Patrick Mahomes has let you guys down many times, but I feel like this is the week that he should play very, very well. Why? I don't know. Cleveland's defense is not that good. Should be a Patrick Mahomes kind of game.
It's low-key a big call just because, man, I think I read a stat out of the last 18 regular season games, Mahomes has put up 2 top 10 performances, bro. 2.
Sheesh, yeah, against Carolina and Tampa Bay or what?
And tomorrow's going to be the third.
We'll see. Hey, he's overdue.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
it's a risky call, man. If I'm in the playoffs, I'm scared. But my QB start of the week is on the other side of the ball, Jameis Winston, who has had 41 or more pass attempts in 5 of his last 6 games. And the only game he didn't have that was in Pittsburgh in the snow. They're playing Kansas City. They're at home. Check the weather on this one. But Kansas City's given up a lot of points to QBs, or has given more points in general to QBs. But they don't give up much on the ground. Jameis Winston's been slinging it. I think he's going to have himself a decent game.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It is a crazy call, but we'll see, bro. Jameis and the Lord that he believes in, keep throwing the ball, even if it's pick sixes.
Bro, picks, touchdowns, it don't matter. He's going to get it done. I mean, the only reason I'd be worried is that they made a comment that they're sticking with him as a starter. So, if he goes out there and just throws 3 picks in a row, who knows? They might just put in DTR and just say, all right, you know what? You're done. Shut you down. So very risky. Hopefully you're not deciding between Jameis Winston or another QB to start in the fantasy playoffs. But if you're desperate, you could look to Jameis for, I think he will get you at least 15 fantasy points. So if you need just something and there's nothing available, you severely underprepared, then good luck.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the wide receiver starts of the week. I'll go ahead and start us off with my wide receiver start of the week, Deebo Samuel. We talked about him in the midweek report episode. He tweeted about not getting the ball, and it's not his problem. He's saying I'm not doing bad because of me. It's because I'm not getting the ball enough. So whenever a player complains or makes noise, usually the game that follows, they pop off. So I'm predicting it for Deebo Samuel, and look to see him doing well on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I forgot to mention it on our last episode that Purdy yesterday, he mentioned that he wants to get Deebo the ball every play. Him saying that, which is kind of crazy when a quarterback says that. Because I remember when Lamar Jackson said something about the post-game interview about Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews decided to turn out for the next couple weeks. Debo Samuel should have himself a game. Do not leave him on the bench. Flex. I like that a lot.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised. Debo's definitely long overdue. He tweeted Brock Purdy statement. George Kittle even had a statement about him. So we're looking at a Debo game here.
Yeah, just real quick. When I mean flex him, don't actually put him in the flex position. Put him at wide receiver 2 or 1 because it's a Thursday night game.
Yep. Thanks for the reminder, BBTB. Appreciate it. MFB, give us your wide receiver start of the week.
My wide receiver start of the week. This player I've been talking either on the pod or off the pod to some people, and I was like, this guy is like somewhat of a sleeper league winner, and it's Jakobi Meyers. Jakobi Meyers' target share has been amazing since Devontae Adams left. Not only that, but they get the Atlanta Falcons, who just got pooped on by Jordan Addison, and before that, they got murdered by Ladd McConkey. I think this week Jakobi Meyers is just unleashed on him and goes dumb.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely love that. Start Jakobi Meyers. Yep.
Yeah.
As we said, league winner.
I like that take as well. He has been playing solid, getting a lot of targets, getting open out there, and he's playing for a contract. Aiden O'Connell he's dealing with a knee injury. He got injured the last game, but he's slated to practice Wednesday. But they're saying he's not yet ruled out for week 15. I'd be more worried if Aiden O'Connell's not the QB, but I still think he can volume himself to a decent game.
Yeah.
BBTB, give us your wide receiver start of the week.
My wide receiver start is going to be slightly an obvious one, but is Devontae Adams. I know the Jets are out of playoffs. I know Devontae Adams is probably not trying to play right now because they're out of playoffs, but Devontae Adams looks really good. They play a really bad Jacksonville secondary. He's getting a lot of targets the past 2 weeks after the bye. I feel like he's going to be a solid start this week.
Yeah, I mean it's a good take, especially we've seen players perform very well against that Jacksonville secondary. They don't have, they're running Mac Jones out there, so they should be able to get ahead. And I think at this point, I said it in a couple of episodes now that I think Devontae Adams is going to go out there and have fun with his boy Aaron Rodgers. So I think
hopefully, yeah. I think it's definitely like a good confidence start. I'm not like crazy hyped about it just because like these are two teams, both eliminated, right? And it has the lowest implied total of 40.5. So not like a crazy game. It's not incredibly low of a total. But I think Devontae Adams is still definitely a fine start, right?
Yeah. All right, let's move on to running backs. My running back start of the week is Brian Robinson, who is an obvious start, but he's playing the Saints this week. The Saints don't have a quarterback. I don't know, Rattler's going back out there. Who do they name the starter?
The other guy from Fresno State.
Haney, right?
559 represent. Yeah, so
Hayner?
they have a
Haney, something like that.
Hayner.
Yeah, terrible offense for the Saints. Kamara might not play, so they're going to be behind. And with Washington Commanders being ahead, they're just going to run the ball. So Brian Robinson was kind of dealing with some issues, injuries, but they're coming off the bye. I think he's going to be fully healthy and go out there and tear him up.
Yeah, I like that take. Hopefully that take is wrong, though, because I play Brian Robinson.
Good luck, brother.
Yeah, but Brian Robinson should have himself a game. So, yeah.
Yep. MFB, give us your RB start of the week.
My RB start of the week, following the trend of starting anybody playing against the Panthers, and that's Rico Dowdle. I'd probably have to go through a lot of weeks to find an RB that didn't post 100 yards on the Panthers. So it's pretty safe to say I think Rico Dowdle's going to put up probably 100 yards on the Panthers too this week.
And possibly punch it in too. So,
yep.
Yeah, he's had 100 yards in the last 2 games, so he'll hopefully keep that streak alive against the terrible Panthers run defense. BBTV, give us your RB start of the week.
My RB start is a guy that no one was really a fan of when the season started. Drafted in round 5. It's Aaron Jones. I called Aaron Jones from the beginning. Aaron Jones, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a league winner. Aaron Jones has a great playoff schedule coming up. Plays a horrible Chicago Bears team. And so, obviously, last week we saw Minnesota move the ball down the field. Sam Darnold scoring 5 touchdowns. Could he do that again? Possibly. But the Vikings pretty much were just getting into the end zone. So I expect them to maybe get stopped at the 2, 3, 4 yard line. And then, all right, here you go, Aaron Jones. Go crazy. So I feel like Aaron Jones should be solid.
I think it's a great take. I mean, he just played Chicago like 2-3 weeks ago, put up a very good stat line. Chicago has been getting ran on all over.
Yeah.
So divisional game, Vikings gotta keep winning. Sorry. As they're still 1 game behind the Lions. But yeah, he'll be eating.
Yeah. Solid take. I like it. Aaron Jones, obvious start. Not much to say there. Let's move on to the tight ends. My starting tight end, or my start of the week for tight end, is Jake Ferguson for the Dallas Cowboys. I just think it's a bounce back game for him. It's a good matchup. They're playing against the Panthers, who give up most points to the tight end position. I think he was injured. Then last game, he didn't really do much. I think this is a bounce back game for him. They're just playing just to play at this point. And who knows, Cooper Rush playing to keep his position so it doesn't go to the third stringer. What's his name again? Trey Lance. So yeah, I think Jake Ferguson find the soft spot in that secondary and get open and be able to get the ball and move the ball up the field.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
FB, give us your tight end start of the week.
This is where shit starts to get crazy, my boys.
Mm-hmm.
But stay with me now. All right. We got Philly versus Pitt. We know Pitt got a good defense, so you got to hit them where like they won't expect it. And they won't expect it in Grant Calcaterra, who got a tud last week.
For the who?
All right.
That's what. Hey,
All right.
Let him finish.
As far as matchups across the board, Pittsburgh gives up like the most positive against tight ends. So that's one positive sign. I think Grant Calcaterra will get one more tud in this game against the Steelers.
That is crazy. If you're week 15 in your playoffs and you are starting Grant Calcaterra,
hey, some people are in deep leagues, bro. I can name you a guy starting him.
that's crazy, man. I don't know. Without that touchdown last week, the man gets like 2 points. So you're just
tight end world we live in.
Crazy.
I don't know. He's just gonna be TD dependent. So I don't know. That's a tough one.
It's a tough one for me. I could probably see it more,
especially after AJ Brown complained.
If AJ Brown didn't complain, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
If AJ Brown didn't complain, he wants the ball in the end zone. He wants the end zone looks. So Calcaterra might end up with one, and this would be a crazy take, but it is to me still a crazy take.
Yeah.
BBTB, give us your tight end start of the week.
Alrighty. You made it to the playoffs. You held strong. This guy was pissing you off probably in the beginning of the season, But we're going to go with Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce should be solid. I have Patrick Mahomes starting. Travis Kelce should be his guy, his little correlation player. So Travis Kelce should do his thing. Chargers defense last week was really, really good. Cleveland's defense is not that good. Travis Kelce should eat. I see him getting in the end zone. I see him having like 6+ catches, over 70 yards. I think it should be a great game for Travis Kelce. Automatic start.
Yeah, I mean, if you drafted Travis Kelce, you're not sitting him, right? But it's not a bad take. I mean, Cleveland, defense isn't very good.
Points kind of player.
So how many points?
15 or more.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's say you have on the other side. Let's say you have Njoku, and you have Travis Kelce. Who do you start?
Kelce.
I mean, that's
Njoku might not play.
He's the only
But if he
injury.
does play, I would roll Njoku though.
Hey, bro.
That's how much I like Njoku. Njoku been
Well,
balling
he's a dog, but Cedric Tillman's on his. He's trending towards playing.
back.
Yeah.
Mm,
Returns back
yeah,
to
I see that.
today, so I'm just.
Pay attention. Look for that. But yeah, BBTB start of the week. Travis Kelce. A clear start. Let's move on to the bonus starts of the week. My bonus start of the week is DJ Moore, who has been kind of on and off this season. Last time he played against he's playing Minnesota. They're in Minnesota on Monday Night Football, primetime game. They're playing what's it called? Last time he played Minnesota, they had 100 yards, 106 yards and a touchdown. Minnesota's been giving up the most points, fancy points to wide receivers. I think DJ Moore has himself another game this week. So if you have him, lock him into your lineup.
Yeah, absolutely love that. Hopefully they're not playing down, and hopefully Caleb Williams will be able to move the ball in the beginning of the first half. So Minnesota's passing defense isn't good, so I really like that a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm only worried that they're playing at Minnesota. You know, I think that home field advantage could matter in this kind of game. But he tore him up before. It's just a matter of Caleb Williams doing something in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I think that even if they're down, I think they're just playing from behind. It seems to be that the trend seems to be that Caleb Williams starts to play in the second half. He doesn't do anything in the first half, and the second half starts playing. So I don't know why, but yeah. Either way, I still think you lock him into your lineup. DJ Moore, that is.
Yeah.
MFB, give us your bonus start of the week.
My bonus start, also a receiver, but this time against the Raiders, it's going to be Drake London. I think Atlanta got to start just pulling together. Kirk Cousins got to get his mind right. He just got to start throwing it to Drake London, bro. I think he'll be kind of the winning factor for this game. And that division's super close. They got to start winning to start locking something up. I think it comes through Drake London.
Yeah. Okay. Kirk Cousins needs to have that 500-yard, 5-tutty kind of game that he had a few weeks back. So it's possible against the Raiders defense. So
yeah.
Oh, and yeah, Monday is a primetime game too, by the way.
It's a double. It's a double. Yep, double
header. Yeah.
Oh.
Kirk on primetime.
Hey,
I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it. BBTB, give us your bonus start of the week.
Bonus start is kind of going to be a little obvious one, but start this man with confidence. You probably drafted him either very late, got him probably off a trade somehow, but Chuba Hubbard. Please start Chuba Hubbard. He's going to have a fire game. Plays Dallas defense. Dallas's defense is whatever. Micah Parsons was literally crying off the field last week. So that man's really not trying to play no more. Chuba and Bryce Young, Adam Thielen, and the rest of the wide receivers, they look really good. So that ball should be moving down the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. With no Jonathan Brooks, it is a very decent start for sure. And we've seen Chuba thrive when he gets the majority of the carries. So, and it's also it's supposed to be Panthers winning the game, from the Vegas odds. So,
what is it real quick? Minus what?
It is -3 to the Panthers.
Okay, so not crazy.
Hey, I want to just make a quick shout out. I mean, Bryce Young has kind of been balling lately. And I want to remind that was BBTV's QB sleeper at the beginning of the year who looked horrible. Absolutely horrible. Yeah. Sat behind Andy Dalton for a few weeks. And then just kind of learned. Maybe I don't know. Who's it that he talked to? Was it someone talked to him or something? They were saying I don't know, I forget. Anyways.
Oh, it was someone trying to low bro him? He tried to get low broed or something like that?
No. I think Rodney Rich talked to him or something like that. I don't know. They were saying after he talked to him, I swear, bro, go look it up. They were asking him what did he say to you? Because ever since he talked to him, boom, he's been killing it. And they were like, what did he say to you?
Last 3 weeks he's been last week was kind of whatever. He did play Philly. But 2 weeks before that, yeah, definitely did his thing.
Yeah.
So definitely another positive matchup for him. I mean, man, you got to be in a deep league or have some QB issues to start him. But
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
if you want to roll him out,
Don't start him. Yeah. Start Chuba Hubbard. Start Adam Thielen.
I would start Bryce Young if you somehow needed a quarterback.
Bryce Young or Jameis Winston against Kansas City.
Bryce Young. Bryce Young.
I think if you're deciding between Bryce Young and Jameis Winston, and you're in playoffs,
you are not in playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro. I'm dealing with that in one of my leagues, and I'm not in playoffs. So yeah, very accurate.
That does it for the starts of the week. Let's move on to sits of the week. At the top, actually, BBTB starts off with your QB sit of the week.
Yeah, we're gonna sit the guy that's been, I think, is top 3 in fantasy QB wise, top 4. It's gonna be Baker Mayfield. What you call it? He plays a really good Chargers defense. Chargers pretty much I don't know. I wouldn't say shut out Mahomes, but it was pretty much a kicking game last week. So I have Chargers playing really good defense against that Tampa Bay offense. So I would not play Baker Mayfield this week.
Yeah, 1,000,000% agree here with this take. They, very limited Mahomes. They destroyed Kirk Cousins. And Lamar did cool, right? And that's their last 3 opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't given too much to QBs. I think this is a perfectly fine QB sit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am also in agreement. It looks, I mean, hopefully you're not, if you're in playoffs and you have Baker, he probably got you there. He played very well this season
for sure.
So yeah, you hopefully picked up someone else. You saw this matchup coming. You saw how the Chargers are playing defense, and you said, "Hey, you know what? Let me get another quarterback earlier on. Maybe you have Bo Nix out there, or one of these other options that we mentioned. Bryce Young? No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, MFB, give us your QB sit of the week.
My QB sit of the week sounds a tad bit crazy, and that's Jordan Love. Seattle has not been giving up too many points to QBs either. So just going off of that, I think they're gonna put some extra pressure on the Packers. Now I could be completely wrong because I was completely wrong on Josh Jacobs last week, who's also a Green Bay Packer. So, but I don't know. Maybe Josh Jacobs just keeps it going, right? And it's not so much Jordan Love throwing touchdowns.
Yeah, I could see that. Because, I mean, go ahead, B.
Sorry, I was just about to say, I don't know if I see that. I'm going to be hella real just because it's a Sunday night primetime game. Mm-hmm. Usually those tend to have really good games. Seattle defense, don't get me wrong, they are solid. But Josh Jacobs getting another 3 tutties for 100-plus yards. Is that going to happen again? It is possible. But I don't know. I feel like Jordan Love should throw the ball in the end zone once or maybe twice. So
once you're probably not happy. Twice you'd be happy with.
Twice if you saw the time of year run with it though.
Yeah, if Seattle's been pretty bad against the run. They let what's his name, James Conner, run all over them last week. So yeah, I think that it might just be on the ground again. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, not a bad take. My QB sit of the week. My QB sit of the week is a little bit as crazy, if not crazier. Sit Jared Goff against Buffalo. I think it could be a potential shootout. Josh Allen's been playing crazy, so they likely might be playing from behind. I just think that they're gonna do a lot of groundwork. It's gonna go through Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. They've been doing a lot of the work. So I think early on in the game, they're just gonna start with the ground and pound. And Bills haven't been very good against the run. So I think that they could really, really work them on the ground. Goff might throw 1 or 2 touchdowns, but I don't think this is going to help you win your week 1 of fantasy playoffs. It could potentially be a shootout, and it could just go back and forth. It might end up being a huge game for Jared Goff, but in tough matchups, I don't think Jared Goff is going to go bananas. I just think it's risky. That's what I'm saying. It's risky.
I think I'm kind of with you there. Buffalo has been really, really good against opposing QBs. But the implied total of this game is kind of nutty. sitting at 54.5. So this should be definitely like one of the more entertaining games for fantasy wise. Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
So as long as we don't see Tim Patrick score 3 touchdowns again or something.
Yeah, but Tim Hoover, like, my God.
From the
Hey,
Broncos.
that's my Bronco though, bro. But anyways, anyways, as long as Lions
That's
are
what-
actually favored here by 2.5, so it should be close. Should be like a really good game. I see it kind of being on all fronts, like passing, throwing. You know what I mean? Like everything.
yeah.
I see everything happening in this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said it was a risky option, a risky call, because like it could very well be a wild shootout and Goff will be just fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that Goff does horrible because I play him. So I kind of
Yeah.
need him to do horrible. Second thing is that we need the Bills to win this game. Why do we need the Bills to win this game? Just because the Lions are the 1 seed right now in the NFC. They lose, then you got the Eagles there, you got the Vikings there, and they all obviously have themselves. So that means that they'll still need to play all their games throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I think with the way teams are playing and the fantasy finals being week 17, I think it'll come down to like week 17. If the Lions win and they keep winning,
yeah,
it'll end up who wins the division will end up. I think all those teams. Well, I mean, the Minnesota Vikings are a game behind. So is the Eagles. So yeah, I still think that it'll come down to week 17. So you should be fine for the fantasy finals.
chill.
But we'll have to wait and see. Let's move on to the wide receiver sits of the week. MFB starts off.
My wide receiver sit of the week this week is a guy I really like, but not looking great for him this week. It's Ladd McConkey. I think like they just have, a really tough matchup. I think because they're against the Bucks, and the Bucks haven't given up too much to wide receivers. I just feel like it's not going to be a great game for him. He needs to heal from both of his injuries. Right, he was sadly out last week, where the team really needed him. So I think if he comes back this week, it's going to be a little bit slow, possibly.
Yeah, I'm hoping he either doesn't play or he just plays horrible. I play against him. Tampa Bay. Yeah, I have no clue, but yeah, hopefully he doesn't do good.
I think if he plays, I think he does well. I'm not going to lie. Just because they needed him last week, they lost to Kansas City. I think you mentioned or somebody mentioned that Kansas City was specifically game planning to try and stop Ladd McConkey, which means they knew
that's true. Yeah,
his
they
impact
were literally
on
planning for that.
Yeah, so like they knew that he's a huge focal point of that offense, and Chargers are playing for they need to get into playoffs, right? So they need to win. So if Ladd McConkey plays, the ball's going through him. You can't depend on Quentin Johnson.
I just feel like everybody kind of knows, like, especially since they released that, like even the Bucks are going to be like, "Hey, we got to double Ladd.
We got a
every
game
chance we
plan."
get."
Yeah.
Right. Like, so if that's everybody's game plan, and like, okay, like let's have some good run defense as well. Like, they'll probably be cool. Especially like we have to monitor Justin Herbert's status. Right. It might be Taylor Heineke playing QB out there.
That's right. Yeah, he was injured last game. Yeah. If Taylor Heineke plays, then I would sit McConkey.
No, but Herbert got in the game like the second half, like right after. Like,
you never know. We're just talking about
Herbert didn't practice today, but just monitor it. So it's like an ankle.
Could be rest related. Yeah, today's Wednesday, by the way, while we're recording this. BBTB, let's move on. BBTB, give us your wide receiver sit of the week.
Sit Mike Evans. Plain and simple. Really good Chargers defense. The one game I'm going to call Mike Evans to sit him. He's dropping single digits this week.
The one game, brother. That was
I
your
think
sit
you called him
week.
last. Yeah, I think you called him last week.
Yeah, brother. That was your sit last week, brother.
And I technically hit it. He had 8.9 points.
You didn't hit, but you
8.9 points from Mike Evans, the stud. That's a hit.
Look, bro. I don't think you sit Mike Evans. And I said that last week, and I'll say it again this week. Because he got injured and he missed a bunch of games, he's behind on his 1,000 yard season, and he wants to get that 1,000 yards, brother. So he's going to do what it takes. You can look up the number exactly right now. He needs to hit like 400 yards, I think, now.
Let me see.
So 400 yards in 4 games.
Let me paint it this way, right? So Mike, okay, that was a cool call last week for Mike Evans. That was with 2 tutties by Jalen McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
I could bet a lot of things that Jalen McMillan not getting 2 tutties again.
Yeah.
Meaning it's something gonna go to Mike Evans, my brother.
And if he gets touchdown, it's
right.
not.
But the Chargers defense are really, really good.
They are.
2 stud corners. I forgot their names. 27, number 20. You got Derwin James up top. You got number 32. I was watching the game last week. Mike Evans should not do his thing. And he's 410 yards away.
410 yards in 4 games is going to be tough, bro. But if he gets 100 yards this game, he's close.
So, yeah, that's not even tough for Mike Evans. That's the kind of the crazy part. But
we'll have to see how this plays out, man. It might be a good sit. You might look silly. Either way. Yeah, that's your sit of the week for wide receiver. Let's move on to my wide receiver sit of the week. DK Metcalf, playing against Green Bay. Jair Alexander, we talked about DK in the weekly update episode, the midweek report. And we talked about Jair Alexander. He practiced in full today, Wednesday. So Jair Alexander will be playing. DK has not been doing well recently. It's mostly been going through JSN for the Seahawks. So I think if you have an option, I would pivot off of Metcalf if you can and you have a better option. But if you don't, good luck.
You know, I'm not crazy mad about that. Looking at the last of 3 opponents Green Bay's played, they played Detroit, Miami, and Niners, which all have very solid wide receiver talent. And it's still like a negative-ish like matchup for wide receivers against Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Meaning like they held those guys down, their last 3 opponents, to no crazy totals. So it's not a crazy sit. I think I can get behind it.
Yeah.
BBTB's falling asleep. Let's move on to the RB sits of the week. BBTB starts off. You're looking tired there. Let's get you back in this.
I'm not tired, man. But anyway, it's gonna be Tyron Tracy. He plays Baltimore. He does look really good. He's getting a lot of the touches. Clear RB1 over Singletary, but Baltimore very good. You have Tommy Trash DeVito at quarterback. So I don't think that ball is going to be moving against that Baltimore defense. So Tyron Tracy should not. It's a single-digit game from Tyron Tracy. So yeah,
look, I can look. Tyron Tracy usage is going up, but I don't know how much he can impact the game. This point spread like got crazier from whenever the last time we talked about it. All right,
don't tell me it's double digits.
Bro, it's been double digits, bro.
Bro, come on, yeah.
It's at -16 for the Ravens, brother. That is crazy.
-16?
That's insane.
That is the Ravens pulling out everybody, like by third quarter, maybe.
That's nuts.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
So yeah, probably sit Tyron Tracy.
But the
Tommy
Giants, single digits are scoring. They're scoring less than 10 points.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that.
Possibly.
Yeah, bro. I'm with,
-16 for a
see that.
spread.
The only way Tyron Tracy will get you enough fantasy points is if you're playing PPR and they just dump it to him. But even if they do dump it to him, I think he's getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage for the most part. So it's just not a good matchup. Baltimore run defense has been crazy. Yeah, look away from Tyron Tracy. Try to find an alternative.
Yeah.
My RB sit of the week is DeAndre Swift. For obvious reasons, that offense is not moving the ball. I don't think he does anything. Minnesota's rush defense has been outstanding. He had 14 rush attempts against SF and only got 38 yards on the ground. He has not been doing that great these last few games. I think he was my RB trade away candidate when we talked about trade talks. Mm-hmm. So it's been looking like a good trade away. He's not been doing so hot. So look to sit him this week. Don't start DeAndre Swift. It's not a good matchup for him.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Cool. That was easy. MFB, give us your RB sit of the week.
RB sit of the week. This is kind of like a gimme. I would say so. It's Nick Chubb playing against the Chiefs. We've seen the trend of RBs struggling at least to put up, yards against the Chiefs. That's for sure. So I think he's a sit, man. I think he's a sit. I don't know. You can go with Pierre Strong or whoever BBT be about to say right now for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, the other one I got mixed up with. I don't know if you somehow made playoffs and you somehow Nick Chubb's in your starting lineup. You need to get that man out. He plays against
100%.
Chiefs are the best against running backs, so I don't know.
I have a league with Tyron Tracy and Nick Chubb.
That was kind of crazy.
But I also
Are you in
have
playoffs?
But I also yes, I am. I also have Saquon, and I have a bye week, so
Oh,
I'm not tripping.
okay. My fault, sir.
Chilling.
Yeah. It's always the leagues you don't care about that you're in playoffs and you're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Let's move on to I agree with the Nick Chubb take. You don't want to start your running back against Kansas City. I think the best was actually Chuba Hubbard, or was it James Cook? I don't remember, but either way, they usually
James Cook. James Cook did cool.
Yeah,
40 yards and a touchdown, but
nice.
only.
But yeah, other than that, yeah. Let's move on to the tight end sits of the week. I will start us off with Mark Andrews. They are going to absolutely dominate the Giants. I don't think the ball gets to what's his face, Mark Andrews, too often. I think that it ends up. I think it ends up on the ground. Honestly, it's just going to be one of those
Derrick Henry
games. Yeah, he's just going to go crazy. So I don't think you get him in there. I think that it all goes to the ground, and he ends up having a fine ground game, and then maybe Lamar Jackson does it to
Week 15, round 1 playoffs. Mark Andrews. You are not playing Mark Andrews if you have him?
If you have Mark Andrews, let's be honest, you probably have another option. Because after 4 weeks of zeros or whatever he was doing, you probably picked someone else up. You probably kept him. Hopefully you kept him.
Yeah.
But you probably are debating between him and another option. Hopefully the other option looks better. If the other option doesn't look better and that's your tight end, just plug him in. Or I'm not telling you to go look for someone else and drop Mark Andrews. He's been doing decent. The last 2 games, he had a touchdown. I think he doesn't get a touchdown. He's been kind of on and off with his touchdowns. So
I hope that happens because I play him.
Let's move on to MFB tight end sit of the week.
My tight end sit of the week. BBTB been missing on this homie, but this is the week to sit him. George Kittle sit week this week. That's all.
That's it. Nothing. No stats.
Rams. They haven't really played against great tight ends, but they haven't given up a lot to tight ends. So George Kittle sit week. It's the Debo game, baby.
I was going to say the only reason I would agree with that is because it's going to be a Debo game. I still think George Kittle gets it done, man. He's been good, man.
I hit George Kittle 2 weeks ago, by the way, in the snow game. So I haven't been missing on him. I missed last week. Okay.
Wait a sec.
But, you can check it. Check the stats. But Kittle should do his thing. I'm hoping he doesn't because I play him. Let's let you guys know I'm in a lotto playoff.
Yeah. I called him last week to go off. I put him as my start of the week last week. And because he complained, and we talk about when players complain, they get, they have themselves a good game, which he did after the snow game. And then he had himself a nice week. I played against him. I also played against Josh Allen that week and then got bounced out of playoffs. So, yeah, we shall see what happens with George Kittle. This is a crazy take, MFB. BBTV, give us your tight end sit of the week.
It's going to be Kate on. I'm fading Bucks offense this week. Very simple. Ball ain't going to move, bro.
You got $3 as a sit this week.
$3 as a sit. They probably have.
Hey, yeah, this is nothing.
Playoffs. Sit them, bro. Very simple.
Okay. Charger, you believe that much in the Chargers defense, huh?
Chargers defense is going to do damage against these.
Just because you saw them live? Or
Yo, no, they just been that good. They're a serious defense. They got a fired D line, healthy D line. They got Khalil Mack on the right. They got Bosa on the left. They got fire secondary. They're forgot their D tackles, but they have one really good D tackle. So I don't know, man. They should get eaten alive.
this has nothing to do with them being in the same division as the Saints, does it?
Yeah, chill out.
I think Cade Otton will be decent. Mike Evans is back, and like I said, looking for his 100 yards per game to get his 1,000-yard season. So I think Mike Evans gets the ball more. So I could see Cade Otton not producing, but I think he's a big part of that offense. So well, we'll have to wait and see.
I'm not like crazy like mad about it, just because I think with Mike Evans back, Cade Otton volume has definitely taken somewhat of a dive. So, it'll affect his production.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the bonus sits of the week. I'll start us off, and BBTB's, fading all these Bucks players. I'm fading the. The more I think about it, the more I think this is a bad idea. But I'm fading I'm fading Ravens. Zay Flowers. Look, the Giants are a terrible defense, bro. But they're horrible against the run. I don't think Zay Flowers gets in the end zone. He might volume himself to like a decent game, 10 fantasy points, 11 fantasy points, and he might be happy with that. Cool. But I don't think he gets in the end zone. Him or Mark Andrews for that reason, or for that matter. It's just all Derrick Henry. And then maybe Lamar Jackson sharks a touchdown, rushes in, gets on himself.
Look, the spread is -16.
It's a Deontay Johnson game. Deontay Johnson getting the end.
I feel like Mark Andrews and Zay should be solid.
If you have these players, you're probably starting them. But I'm saying temper expectations, man. I think it's all going to Derrick Henry. If you have Derrick Henry in the playoffs, bro, you're chilling.
I have him.
Man, you might be able to play Justice Hill this game, bro. This might be a crazy.
You might be able to.
I wouldn't do it.
That's the crazy part. You might be able to.
Yeah. But we'll have to wait and see. It might be a fat, L for me. But hey, man, you gotta have some crazy takes on this show.
Gotta have some.
It's not a good podcast if you don't have some crazy takes. MFB, give us your bonus sit of the week.
My bonus sit of the week. Once again, Brock Bowers, the menace tight end rookie himself. They called me crazy last time. They're gonna call me crazy this time. But against Atlanta, they ain't giving a lot to tight ends. And they played against TJ Hockey, last week. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be Jacoby game. Jacoby legacy game. Not really a Brock Bowers game.
If only I was in playoffs, man, it would be good for me to have him. But this is a
1 second
dangerous take.
1 second.
Dangerous take.
Keep talking. Give me like 20 seconds.
Yeah. Their BBTB really, really has diarrhea. He's really had to go to the bathroom. So yeah, he just left. But yeah, Brock Bowers, this is a tough call for Brock Bowers being a sit. He's been good, throughout the season. He did have some dud games here and there.
He has some dud games. I think this might be like his last dud game, and then we'll see what's good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's totally possible. That's the thing with fantasy. Like, it's entirely possible, right? But against Denver, he had a dud. So against Tampa last week, didn't do so well. I think he bounces back.
Kobe Myers, his legacy game last year against the Broncos. Crazy 17-16 game when he picked off or whatever. Right here.
He brought a card. If you're watching the video, you can see BT's holding up a Jacoby Myers card.
Dope. We got cards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, we'll have to see it. So would you say, Oh, you put Jacoby Myers as your start of the week, and then Brock Purdy as your sit. Okay.
Yep.
We'll have to see it.
Only reason why I agree with MFB is because I have the card for Jacoby.
That's the only reason. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Good enough. Good enough for us. BBTV, give us your bonus sit of the week.
It's going to be Marvin Harrison. The reason why it's
Please tell me
Marvin
the
Harrison. What?
I said, please tell me why.
The reason why it's because I truly believe this should be a Kyler Murray game. So, which means that Marvin Harrison is not going to be needed. I think Kyler Murray is going to be running all over the Patriots. He'll obviously get the ball to McBride. Last week, I think got to the end zone with Michael Wilson. James Conner is obviously going to run it. I don't see Marvin Harrison just being needed. He is a dog, don't get me wrong. But they don't need him. So that's why I say so.
I mean, I'm not really
start
hoping
Marvin
for that,
Harrison.
but it kind of somewhat makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this take.
Brother,
Just-
get out of here, Cardinals fan.
Just based off of look, bro. I'm not a fan of the take.
It's fine.
Marvin Harrison's been on and off against the Chargers week 7, off against Miami week 8, on.
Mm-hmm.
Then next week against Chicago, off against the Jets, on. You got a touchdown. Seattle, off. Minnesota, on. Seattle, off.
All right, brother, we get it.
Look, bro, he's been going back and forth. Touchdown, then no touchdown, then touchdown, then no touchdown for the last 6 weeks.
And he's going to break the streak and it's going to be off.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But they do need this win. Yeah, they might not need him. Who knows? Maybe McBride finally gets his touchdown this week and it doesn't go to Marvin Harrison. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But that'll do it for the starts and sits of the week. Hopefully you guys, take the advice if you need it or don't, so you don't blame us later. If you do end up taking our advice and it leads you the wrong way and you end up losing because of it, please come talk crap in the Discord. The link is below in the description.
Join the Discord for any playoff tips, anything, please.
Playoff starts and sits. If you need to know who to start, who to sit, we can. And just ask us. People ask us, who should I start? This guy or this guy? We can tell you, look, this is the situation this player's in. This is the situation that player's in. And you can say, hey, give me the numbers. Like what looks like, give us the stats for these two players or whatever. Ask us what you need. Cause sometimes you don't want us to just tell you. You want to know that like we can do the research for you and then just ask us and we'll let you know to the best of our knowledge.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for this episode. Hopefully you guys can win this week and make it to the next week. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah.
Peace out.